Well, we have news. Again, this is something that like I say in most of my videos, I'm gonna go over this more in depth on the podcasts. I will and I won't. It depends on how much I have at the end of the week. If I will or I won't, but this I probably will again with thoughts down the road because I'm gonna think this over. But Philly officially waived Jamie Newman, the quarterback who they just picked up as UDFA, Kalil Tate, who's a UDFA from last year, and Trevon Grimes, the wide receiver that it was rumored could turn into a tight end project. So that nightmare is potentially done because I was waiting for those rumors to travel into the season, and then that turned into a whole mess. So thankfully, as of right now, that won't be a complete mess. Kalil Tate, you knew he was going to get cut. Unless the kid balled out or the staff wanted him very bad, he's gone. I mean, it doesn't matter who you are. You're probably, no matter who's watching this, you're probably thinking that Kalil Tate was going to go anyways. Or barely make the roster. A fringe roster cut. Or a fringe roster make. At this point, I'm kind of sad Newman went. I want him back. I wish we hadn't cut Newman because I wanted to see him develop to potentially be at least something behind Hurts if we ever need him. 2017 season, people. But I know I brought that up, but sometimes it pays to have a good backup quarterback in case things go wrong. NFL history has shown us that time and time again. That good backups can be good in some cases. Besides, would you rather take Joe Flacco, who they're paying $8 million with incentives? I think 8 with, 4 without. I think. Now I need to look his contract up. But I think that's how I remember it. And why? I wanted to see what he could do, or at least develop into. And I wanted to see him be like just somebody there behind Hurts when Joe Flacco goes next year because he's not staying for more than a year. He's here. I think he's here to be another McCown in a way, but one that's actually slightly more serviceable. Now he's on a $3.5 million contract up to another $4 million incentives, adding up to $7.5. So I was off by $500,000. But I get it with Howie and putting incentives in the contracts. But you're really gonna give Joe Flacco a contract where he can make up to $7 million of your cap? Thank you for blessing us with that bad signing. I get what it's for, but at the same time, really, did you really have to do it? Did you really have to do it? Could we have not just taken somebody on a slightly cheaper deal with at least slightly less incentives? That's not named Joe Flacco, that's not really going to be the most serviceable when you put him in the game, if you need him. Or if you just need a game manager for like the end of a game because you don't want to risk Hurts getting hurt. Or let's say if this team does way better than I ever expected and locks up a playoff spot a week or two before the end of the season, or locks up the division, you're not gonna play Hurts for most of the full games for those last 2 games. You're gonna want to put in your backup, which is gonna be Flacco, and I wouldn't want to do that. I'd put in a younger guy who's your third string, who you can develop with some experience into a second string, and then say bye bye to Flacco. And then that opens up 3 spots. We don't have the cap to get Steven Nelson right now. We don't have the cap to get one of those older corners that may or may not be serviceable for one season, and I say may or may not because, that's the one thing I hate about getting some of these older corners that are in the market right now. Or there's people who have had no injury history that have come to this team and gotten hurt. That may be a Doug Peterson regime thing, because of strength and conditioning and routines and everything like that and everything that goes into it behind the scenes. It may not. I don't know. We'll figure this out. But, I mean, we haven't had a consistent health or staff of strength or health, well, like in the health department for 2 straight years since what, 2017, I think, or at least where most of the staff was here. So I think that may be part of the reason it would hurt, even without even with a new regime. But at the end of the day, it comes down to, can those guys stay healthy, and can they give you at least mediocre production to stay on the outside? Because that's all you'd have to put up. Because you're not gonna. Who's gonna contest for that spot from somebody who's got a lot of experience and can play mediocrely if they stay healthy? What, Michael Jaquette? Maddox ain't gonna do anything. You're keeping him in the slot, and if you're not, you're Jim Schwartz. Oh, I've gotten so used to the nickname Lindy calls him that now I'm starting to do it. Lindy, if you're watching, thank you, because now I'm starting to do it too. But it's not a bad thing in the slightest, but it's just funny. And you don't have the money right now to bring in some of those corners right now anyway. Some people say are top corners in free agency, like your Richard Shermans, Conley. You don't have the money for those guys. Steven Nelson, somebody I've been okay with getting. And then there is a rumor that was even said by Adam Schefter that, and some other reputable sources, that former Jaguars wide receiver Michael Walker reached agreement with the Eagles to sign in the next few days per his agent. Walker was an Eagle in high school, an Eagle at Boston College, and now could be an Eagle in the NFL. Now an Eagle in the NFL. I mean, Schefter did say it, but I'd wait till they officially announce it, because they could go to it says reached agreement to sign in the next few days, but things could go wrong. This is the NFL. Crazier things have happened. But with the sources that have come out about it, he's probably going to sign. You're probably going to see him here. My thing is, what are those 2 spots opening up for? Now, what I want to say is a linebacker and a corner. What I'm expecting is, well, the Howie thing to do would be get a backup offensive lineman and some guy at some random position or some new tight end to contest behind Goddard that nobody knows, that's supposedly a sleeper on his board. And I'm making that joke in reference to Howie's own draft board compared to his scouts have one too, which I think is the stupidest thing ever. But that's just me. I mean, should have drafted Owusu Koramoah, but that's beside the point. Now you lose one wide receiver in the room, so the receiving room slightly less crowded. They could bring in a veteran wide receiver. I would be all in for that. Someone who's not really going to play, but serve more of a Josh McCown role, but you can still put out there if you need them for a couple snaps or a couple plays. Which is why sometimes I'll say a Danny Amendola, because you're not going to play him a lot, but you're going to bring him in there for experience. Or someone of that caliber that's still in free agency. And then linebacker and corner are what I'd want, but I'd be fine getting corner, veteran receiver, or corner, tight end who will actually give you some production, like a Joshua Perkins or somebody, or Richard Rodgers, or even just getting, I don't know, another quarterback, a young quarterback to put behind Flacco and not run 2 quarterbacks, because you really want to be the one putting Flacco out there if we actually do something and go above my expectations and win the division, which is I don't even think is nearly in reach like everyone does, or nearly as in reach as everybody else. But I think it's possible, but let's not get into that. But those two spots, I don't know where. I don't know what they're going to use them for. Knowing Howie, he's going to use them for offensive linemen that we don't need and defensive linemen that we don't need. That's going to be like fringe roster talent or not even going to make the roster. And they're going to be cut in preseason. So, but this has been a quick video. I just wanted to get this out because I just heard about this. This was posted in the PSN Discord 45 minutes ago, and I noticed it 10 minutes ago. I should have noticed earlier. I just haven't been I haven't been keeping track today, which is why the news broke, because I wasn't keeping track. But anyways, this has been a video, and hopefully more news comes in the week. It probably won't, so you'll probably hear from me next on the Common Flock. But if news actually breaks, you'll see me sometime before the weekend. If not, see you on the Common Flock on the weekend. And the Fighter from 3. And maybe even, we may have the big 3 rolling out this weekend if I have enough for the Golden Dome. But anyways, this has been myself on some breaking news that I didn't think would happen. Signing out.